Hello friends and neighbors, it's me, Akiic ToDaHead. Welcome back. We are back Farming Simulator 15 on Bjornholm. We are back and we're just down at the animals. If you remember, we had brought them some grass and some straw. Now normally you would only need TMR, and if we quickly take a look at the animals, the grass, silage, and straw is not needed if you have mixed rations, just so that is clear. If you don't have total mixed rations or TMR from this point forward, then you would need the silage, grass, and the straw, and it still won't get it to 100%. It would be around 80% if you have these three, and TMR, of course, will push it to 100%. So once again, if you have TMR, you don't need silage, grass, or straw. Well, straw you'll still need, but you won't need silage or grass. But if you don't have TMR, then you'll need silage and grass. So what I've done is fed them as the max they could get on grass and straw. And if you look here, I've also put some silage in. Now it's not that much. I do have it fermenting out. It's only going to be around 21,000, 22,000 liters. But I have downloaded a mod, and as promised, I'll showcase it now. If we take a look over here, you'll see there's a little conveyor belt. We now have the ability to drop chaff and manure into these areas, and they'll pile up, so you don't have to store it into your manure pit. You can pull it out, and if you have corn growing out here and you cut it up in the chaff, you can then store it over there for when this is empty, and then you can move it over there back into your clamp, and you're good to go. If you look across the way over here, you'll see I also have a place for forage, which is TMR, and silage. So you can move this out of there and move it into there, and once you've created TMR, you can store it in there. And then finally over here, we now have the ability to store straw and grass. So when you pull the loose straw off the field, you no longer have to sell it. Once you've got your cows full, you can then drop it over here into this barn, and you can store it for later use, and the same with grass. That's a great addition. It's a little mod that someone had put together. There's also one for Westbridge Hills, which puts it down by the cow farm as well. So that was a little mod that I wanted to showcase at the start. But as promised, what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little more tree cutting out there for that comfort station. If we just bring up the HUD again, let me just open up the HUD, get rid of that, and we pull open the map. We can take a look down. 24 and 29 we still own, as well as 38. Now we haven't done anything to 38 or 24 that I remember anyway. Let's just quickly pull this up. You can see the only thing that is silage, but we don't have any of that made as of yet. And we take a look here. Now you can see that the fields are empty. So we need to prep the fields as well today. And we'll get to that shortly. But right now, let's go ahead and continue to the tree cutting for the comfort station. And what I've done, let me just tab over to it. So what I've done is I've come down and I've cut three big of the three big pines down that were on in this corner. This is where they want to start building first. Then we'll move our way up. And I've already pre-cut these down, so we won't have to wait as much. All we've got to do now is delimb them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to try using our front end loader with the fork attachment and drive them over there and then offload them that way. We'll try it without the trailer and see how good that does it. Now, the front end loader is not as good, or correction, the telehandler is not as good as the front end loader for moving these trees. And I'll tell you why. The fork attachment doesn't work in conjunction when you have it set to the implement of the telehandler. So let me give you a quick demonstration here. Okay, you can see down there that it's on the telehandler. Now the telehandler will do your normal ability with the boom and the arm. We'll be able to control that, but we can't open or close the forks. So we have to actually switch to the forks before you can actually open and close the forks, and then you can't adjust the grappling at all. So you have to switch back to the telehandler to be able to maneuver the forks. So it's not ideal as the front end loader. I do enjoy the front end loader better, but this will give us a little extra maneuverability and stuff. Let's just push this up under here, and let's open this a little more. Well, forget I'm on the wrong implement. And there we go. Now I have to switch back again and maneuver this in such a way, like so. Let's get out and finish topping these, or limbing these rather. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these one over at a time over there, but I'm not going to drop them in there. What I'm going to do is, I really need to get a better handle on that. There we go. It worked its way in. So what we'll do is we'll move this over, and it doesn't look like it's quite tight enough. So let's, ooh, wrong way. Yeah, that's as tight as it will go. So let's just maneuver over here. And what we're going to do is, like I said, I'm just going to set them close there, and then we'll push them in when we have all three over here and give us the money. If there's a way to get in there. You know what? We may not be able to do this after all. It's not like on Westbridge Hills. So what I'm going to do is I'll load this onto the trailer maybe. Or put it beside the trailer, and then we can use the trailer to load it in there. That's probably what we can do. I want to try to keep these as long as possible because, oh, you know what we could do though? I just got a better idea, folks. Although we do get more money if we take them to the train as opposed to dropping them into the mill pond. I believe. You know what? For sake of experiment, let's just take them over and we'll set them by the mill pond and we'll push them into the mill pond. We'll see how that does. We'll see how much that gives us. Yeah, we're about to lose it. Okay, we'll set that there. Then we'll come back and we'll push that in. Let's open our grapple up. And let's go in a little bit in cab action. Let's switch to fork. There we go. And this will give us a little extra income coming in. And we'll be that much closer, one step closer to having this area cleared for the new comfort station that they want to build. And let's see, best way to maneuver in here. Yep, this is a little high centered. We're a little stuck, so let's come over this way and get a different angle on it. There we go. Can't actually see, can we? Okay, not quite sure. You know what we'll do? Let's delimit. That way we can at least see how we're doing. Okay, I think that's all delimbed. Let's delimb this one while we're at it. Okay, getting close. Okay, that one we'll be able to pick up no problem. Should be able to anyway. I want to get a different angle on this. I want to get it from the other side. Okay, let's try to maneuver. This is not as easy to operate for me as the crane. I really enjoyed the crane. I got quite good at handling the crane. Okay, let's switch back to the fork now. It just doesn't want to grab. Let's try this and switch back to the fork. Try coming straight down on it maybe. That would work better. Yeah, that seems to work a little better. Let's... we lost it. Let's open the fork back up. And we're going to have to... This ain't going to work that way. Get in there. Oh, man. We'll get it, folks. I should have just stuck with the crane instead of trying a new process. But you know, you never know what works best if you don't experiment with different processes. Let's get back on it this way and drop down. And oh, come on, don't you do that. Let's get in front of it then before it goes onto the tracks. There we go. And now I want to try this again. So we'll come out. Let's bring this all the way out. Trap it into place. Switch to the forks. Let's close the forks up. Like that. Switch back. There we go. It grabbed it that time. Now we'll take this over to the mill pond as well, or not. We need to be a little further over, I think, but we're going to take it as is. So we need, when you're using a telehandler like this, it looks like you need to be a little further over on the fatter end instead of the skinnier end. It probably will hold it a lot better than what it's doing now. But this should be okay, just enough to get it over to the mill pond. We'll delimb that one little piece as well. Oh, got to be careful, we'll lose it. It's sliding out. And it's about to go. There we go. Let's delimb this piece. There we go. And I want to just push this over into place. Let's get this opened again. And let's try, like I said, what I suggested. Let's get to the fatter end here. Like that. Wrong key. And let's close this on. Switch back. And then slowly get it into place. That works better. Yeah, that sits on there better. That works better. Even though it still slides, it doesn't seem to fit as well as the one for the front end loader. That's interesting. It seems like there's a lot of room and it slides around in there a lot. So let's drop this here. That way we can just push them all into the mill pond at once. And then we'll go grab the last piece. Oh, come on, slipping and sliding. There we go. Now let's go grab the last one and we'll be good to go. Then what we'll do is we'll go prep a little bit of the ground, the fields for the next harvest, next seeding. Like I said, this next one should be a little better to grab because it is elevated there. And let's get a little further over on the fat piece. There we go. Don't you drop off of there. Now let's close this up. Switch back. Stop hitting the wrong key. There we go. And now let's take this one over as well. So in theory, unless you're coming from a long way, careful, across the map, you really don't need the trailer to start with. You can get away with just like a front end loader or a telehandler or something like that to assist you. But I mean, the little Stippa trailer is only 58 grand. You get that paid off and earning money within the first couple trees that you drop. So it is really a good investment anyway. Okay, let's get this over into place. Then we'll just push all these off into that G key needs to be moved. Okay, so let's just start pushing these into place. And we're at 48,940. There we go. And now we're up to 130 grand, just about. We were at 48,940, I said, and we're at 129,436. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Let's go ahead and pull this away, like so. We'll take this over here. We'll park it by the steeple for right now. We'll lock it up, and then we'll go back to our Deutz and drive back to the farm and check on the fields. Here we go. We'll just lock this up right here. There we go. And let's drive back to the farm. The cows are going good right now. Let's just quickly check on it one more time. So they're at 44% because all we have is the grass and the straw. But as soon as the silage is done, we'll give them some silage as well, and that will bump up their productivity to 80%. But the main thing, as long as you've got grass and straw, that will start all the manure process and the milk coming in. The straw will do the manure process, and the grass will start the milk coming in. So at the very least, you need those two just to get the cows at 44% productivity. It's slow, but it still gets you the vital ingredients that you need. So let's head back up to the main farm. Now, I sold the wood chips off camera like I said I was going to do, but I ran into a slight problem. The one modded trailer that we bought, I put a scoop and a half in that before I realized that wood chips were not going in there. So the modded tipper trailer that we had bought doesn't hold wood chips, so we lost a scoop and a half of that. So I quickly switched to the other tipper and loaded the remaining in there. But unfortunately, it didn't give us as much money as I was hoping, so we did lose quite a bit of money on the wood chips that we could have had before. So unfortunately, that was the case. But that's that tipper trailer right there. It did not hold wood chips. Now, the unmodded version does. Although this holds more liters than the modded version, this one does not hold the wood chips though. So unfortunately, we did lose quite a bit of money that way before I realized what was happening. Now, we need the cultivator. Where did we park the cultivator? I believe we parked it over here. Why do I have a weight sitting here? Interesting. Do I have one on the front here? I do not. Okay, let's see if I can get on it now. Okay, there's the mower. Woo! So where is my cultivator? You guys see the cultivator anywhere? Maybe in here? No cultivator, no cultivator. Okay, there's our bucket. There's the seeder. Interesting. 1 second. Let's see if we can locate that then. There's a weight down there. Why do we have a weight down there? There's the cultivator down there as well. Interesting. That's down at the bottom of field 38. I don't recall putting it down there. Well, let's head on down there then. We'll pick it up. There's also a weight down there. I don't know why it's down there. Did we move down there and start cultivating that field? I don't believe we did. Ah, I know why. Because that's where it starts. That's right. And we never moved it from when we started it. That explains it. I'm losing it. That's what happens when you play so many different games and record so many different episodes of things. And they all seem to run together. So let's run down there. We'll start cultivating down there, being it's down there anyway. We'll cultivate that up. And what we may do, being we got a little extra money, is let's look into picking up another cultivator and possibly another tractor. But I'd like to save for the bigger New Holland front end loader. That thing's a beast. Take a look over here first. We'll see what we can do. We'll get 2 fields cultivating at once. Now, cultivator is down at the bottom end of this field, I believe. There it is. Okay. Just bump it out of the way a little bit, otherwise we won't be able to get into it with that weight there. There we go. And let's start him on this side of the field just so I can reset that weight, have it picked up and delivered back to main farm. Okay, and we'll get Philip going on this. Go ahead, Philip, go to it. There you go. You're on your way. Let us have this picked up down here. Let's reset that. Yes. So Alan picked that up and he took that back to the farm. Let us just check real fast on cultivators here. Now, this one's only 10 grand, well 9.5 grand. And this one's 18 grand, but you need a 205 horse brake horsepower tractor to be able to move this. Now, we don't have anything even close to that range right now. Let's just check mods. Do I have any cultivator mods? No. Okay, so let's check tractors. We could get another Deutz as well. That's 50 grand. That's 143 horsepower. 130. This is 460 a day versus this one's only 330 a day. This is only 75. Ursus only 260 and it's 148 horse and it's only 82 grand. You know what? Why don't we do that? It's going to deplete our money, but we'll get more money coming in soon. Let's get a new tractor. We'll pick up the Ursus and let's get a new cultivator. We'll just grab how big was the Ursus again? 148 brake horse. This is 205. It would do it, but it'd be a struggle for it. And it's 4.5 meters. It's only another 1.5 meters wider than this one. Let's just stick with this. We can always upgrade at a later time. So let us jump down to the Ursus then. Nope. We want vehicle and can you highlight that? There we go. Let's enter that vehicle. Quite lovely. Very basic still though. Just a basic tractor. We don't have a front weight on there. Hopefully this won't be a problem, but we do have a weight back at main farm. Hopefully we'll be able to take this to the main farm. It seems like it's handling it okay. We'll pick the weight up on here anyway and put the weight on here anyway just to be safe. And then we'll get started on the other field here. Let's turn our do we got? Yeah, we got the beacon on top. So we got the beacon going. Now see this mirror, I find these mirrors in a proper location. We can at least see behind us and see vehicles behind us. Every other tractor I've been in, the mirrors seem like they're angled too low to the ground and you can't adjust them yet. So I'm looking for a mod shortly for that. It'd be nice to be able to adjust the mirrors. Yeah, this has got quite the giddy up and go on here. Giddy up and go, Daddy. Giddy up and go. I'm sure some of you older folks remember that song as well. It was an old truck driving song. There we go. Now let's just turn into here. Go grab our weight and we'll head out to that field and start cultivating that field. Now this seeder you need to cultivate before you can seed. The next step up from the seeder you don't. It will cultivate for you. So unfortunately we still got to cultivate and the weight's backwards. Let's turn around, try to get into there without hitting anything. There we go. Got our weight picked up. There we go. So now we'll cultivate this field and we still have to seed that field over there. How are we doing on time? 25 minutes in, so we're going to have to end this soon. Let's go ahead and get Alan started on this field. Man, that's a nice looking tractor. I like that one. Okay, so he's cultivating. Alan's cultivating there. Philip's cultivating on field 38. And we just have to figure out what we want to do wise here. We got 21,000 tons or liters of wheat, 16,000 of barley, 17,000 of corn, and 16 each of potatoes and sugar beet. Where is the closest mission board? Let's quickly take a look, see where our closest mission board is. It's going to be that way, down by field 38. Let's go check the mission board real fast. See if there's anything before we close out the episode that we can do on the mission board. If we can do a fruit type of delivery that's below what we have in our stores, and maybe we can do that real fast. We've got corn to the shipping office, and they want 36 tons of corn, and I don't believe we have that. Let's just check. 36 tons of corn. Nope, we only have half that. So unfortunately, we can't do that mission. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. So we got the cows. I showed you the new mods for the cows, so we'll be able to start storing our loose straw, grass, silage, etc. down there. We'll be able to start taking great care of the cows. We need to, once we get the silage mixed up and fermented, we need to look at getting a mixing wagon for the cows. That way it'd just be a little easier. We'll do the TMR, and then we don't have to worry about, you know, storing the grass and stuff. We got 3 trees delivered to the mill pond, cut down, so that area of land for the comfort station is getting nice and cleared. It will be shortly, we'll be done there with that contract. That will give us a little extra money as well. Mash that like up button if you enjoyed the episode. I know this was a little stranger than normal of mine. Seemed I was thrown off a little bit with that telehandler. It didn't quite function the way I intended it to, the way the front end loader does, or the way the crane does. But hey, we learned. We'll get to it. We'll get to it with the trailer next time. Then leave your comments and suggestions below. As always, I do get to them eventually. It takes me a while. I am old. I am full-time employment for now, so it does take me a while, but I do get to them eventually. Make sure you tell your friends about this as well. We'd like to get as many people over as possible. Until next time, thank you for joining me. I'm Akiic ToDaHead. We'll see you all later. Have a great day. Bye bye.